Hey everybody, thanks a lot for joining me. This is one of those videos where I was thinking about doing it and then I thought, no, nobody's really going to be interested in just a haul that's not of brand new stuff, but of things that I maybe have already talked about in the past. But ultimately I thought, I think it's really saying something if me, the person who is like chronically trying new products all the time, is willing to go out and repurchase the same thing repeatedly. A lot of these things that I'm talking about are kind of like recent empties, but I haven't been doing the greatest job of keeping all of my empties in my empties bin as opposed to in the trash can. But something that I often will say in that video is, oh, this is a product I just ran out of, but I am going to repurchase it. And I guess this video would be the proof that I have indeed gone ahead and repurchased some of these things. First thing, and it's a definite holy grail status item, is this CeraVe Hydrating Cleanser. I had a large size of this already, and it took me a long time, but I've finally gone through it all. And I've been in sort of an unusual place with my morning cleansing routine because I've been trying out several different micellar waters, and one conclusion that I've come to is that the very heavy CeraVe night cream that I've been using, it's like the skin renewing night cream, it's got like a purpley label on it, that's really heavy. And for me to not do a full-on face wash in the morning, at least when I'm using a night cream that's that heavy, you know, it's not enough for me. I've used several different micellar waters, and I'm not necessarily saying that these aren't like getting my face fully clean in the morning, but the whole concept behind those is that they're not stripping your skin. It's almost like they're offering a little extra hydration back to your skin. And I feel like lately my skin has not been looking as clear as it should be, and I kind of blame that process of not giving it a full face wash in the morning and instead just using the micellar water, and I think maybe that's a bit much for my skin right now, so I do need to wash it. So that long story leads me back to this. This has been the thing that I have been using as my face wash for, I guess, it seems like going on a couple years now. It's seriously the best thing, I think, to give your skin that clean slate at the start of the day, but it does not strip or over dry. I've dealt with eczema on my face and have used this as a face wash, and it was not, you know, overly harsh to those sensitive areas. It says for normal to dry skin with ceramides and hyaluronic acid. Don't they say with like relationships, if you love something, let it go, and then if it comes back, like, I don't know, maybe that's way too deep for face wash? That is kind of what happened here. Now, something else face wash wise, when we're talking about makeup removal at nighttime, something I go through much more quickly are the little Olay Daily face wash cloths. And if I'm at Walmart, I will no problem buy the Equate, I think they're called hydrating face wash cloths, and they come in a 2-pack, so you get a couple plastic pouches full in one box. But at the time I was shopping for some of these things, I was in Walgreens, so they just had the Olay kind, and they only had in stock the sensitive version or the oily to combo skin version. So I went for the sensitive, and these work great. In case you're not familiar with the way they work, they are just like a little folded up cloth, and once you get them wet, they suds up, and they're great for just removing all your makeup, even eye makeup. Even if I don't use the sensitive kind, none of the other kinds, including Equate, none of them irritate my eyes whatsoever, and I really get all up in there to remove everything. So I'm always repurchasing these, so this isn't really a unique repurchase. It didn't take as much work to go through a box of these as it does some of this, but I love them, and it's for sure holy grail status on that. Now, I repurchased a foundation that I used up, and I actually went through this foundation, it was several months ago, I believe, but it was still kind of in my memory, just looking through my foundation stash, thinking I wish I still had that one in there, because it's a great one from the drugstore, and it is my Neutrogena Healthy Skin. And this is a really awesome lightweight foundation. I use it in natural beige, and you know, a lot of times I like my coverage, and if I'm doing certain looks, maybe I really want to go the full coverage route, but this is one of those special like lightweight foundations that really looks good on the skin. It does not look too heavy. It doesn't cling to dry areas. I won't say it has like a luminous finish because there's not shimmer or sparkle in this, but your skin just looks fresh after application. It has SPF 20 in it. This is the foundation I'm wearing today. I didn't go topping it with a whole heck of a lot of concealer with the exception of the under eye area, and I'm pretty happy with just the overall look. So I was was really glad to get that one again. I have conveniently gone through a couple of my favorite drugstore mascaras at the same time, and so I went and repurchased those. And the sign for me that I am getting to the end of a mascara is when I apply it to my lashes and it's no longer separating, because then the formula has just gotten so thick that it can't easily be combed through the lashes. So I was noticing that with both of these mascaras, so it was definitely time to repurchase. Now the Supersizer, I believe this is my third tube, and Clump Crusher water resistant. God only knows how many of these. I mean, this might be, honestly, 6 or 7 on this, because I use this so religiously on the lower lashes. So again, it's Clump Crusher, water-resistant version. I buy it in Very Black. It really does not go anywhere when I put this on the lower lashes. There is a very gentle curve to the wand, but overall, it's a very small brush on there, and the bristles are rather short, but there's a lot of them. The lashes end up lengthened but not overloaded with mascara. The crowning achievement of this product is by far the staying power. If you're going to put on lower mascara, you don't want it moving and smudging down below. A lot of mascara formulas do that to me. Under the eyes is definitely my eye makeup staying power problem area, so this is great for that. And in case anyone was wondering, I don't have a hard time removing the Clump Crusher water resistant. Certain waterproof formulas are a real hassle to get off, and if I feel like the removal is so difficult that I'm losing lashes, I'm not going to want to use it. That one is pretty easy to get off. And then the Supersizer I haven't been using quite as long, but I got this in Very Black in just the regular variety. But I do love this wand. They say unique lash styler, twirl as you apply. I have a full review on this mascara if you would like some really detailed info and to actually see it going on, but it does great things for my lashes, which are sparse. They like to point down. With this brush, it's like you can apply one side that really loads on some product and then kind of turn it, and the bristles help extend it out. And I know later in the summer months, I was wearing this a lot just for a natural look. I would do my eyeshadow, but not do liner, curl my lashes, and apply like 2 coats of this stuff. And it really like put my lashes out there. It lengthened them out. It held the curl. Whenever I do that with this, I get comments like on pictures, oh, your lashes look so long, what mascara is that? And this has really been my favorite one to use, so I would highly recommend it. I needed some new Revlon Precision Lash Adhesive. That is my favorite lash glue, but Walgreens didn't have that in stock. They did have the Duo Brush On Strip Lash Adhesive, so I went for that. It is, I've used this before, it's very similar to Revlon's, except I feel like the consistency is a bit more thin, and therefore it takes a little more time to dry, but it's decent. I was thinking of not mentioning this because it wasn't my true like Revlon one that I use up over and over and over again that I repurchased, but then I thought some people might be interested in the difference. So if given the opportunity, I would still continue to buy the Revlon. Oh, and this says do not freeze. Could you guys quit freezing the lash glue? I mean, come on. What? Oh, I meant to mention this after the foundation. I got a new L'Oreal True Match pressed powder. I have it in the shade Buff Beige, and I'm wearing a little bit of that just to set my look today. And for the longest time, I was wearing the shade Sun Beige in that, and not only was I running low on it, but it was definitely not the right color for me right now, so I went ahead and got Buff Beige, and it's a great color match. I know a lot of people rave about the True Match foundation, but the powder, too, in this line is just great. First off, you've got a huge shade range. I feel like I've been talking about how great this powder is for years, and it actually has some coverage to it. If you wanted to just do a quick look, you know, tap on some concealer and then just wear some of this kind of like powder foundation style, you could do it. I do use my Milani Multitasker powder quite a bit, but this is not quite as heavy as that, and it also has, I think, just a lighter look on the skin. The Milani Multitasker, I think you have to make sure to use a light hand with it, because just sticking a brush in that product will pick up a lot of powder. This powder is interesting because it's kind of that nice, luxurious, soft texture, but it doesn't go on so heavy to where you couldn't just use it as an easy, quick touch-up powder. So I love this stuff if you're looking for just a great drugstore pressed powder, plus a lot of color variety so you can really hone in on your exact shade. This is nice. Plus it's got the mirror in the back and it gives you a little sponge as well. Now the last makeup item that I thought I repurchased, I actually didn't get out of the store with, apparently. I checked my card to see if it fell out of my shopping bag. It was nowhere in there, and then I looked at my receipt, and sure enough, I actually did not get it set on the counter to check out. And I'm talking about my Milani Eyeshadow Primer. I love that stuff. That is probably my favorite drugstore eye primer. It measures up completely for me with Urban Decay Primer Potion, and I completely went through one tube of the Milani, and it took me forever. Like, I remember referencing in different videos, still using the Milani, you know, it's just hanging around forever, and it only takes a little bit. So right now, I feel like I've just got a bunch of like shadow primer samples that I'm using up, and I know a lot of you are really concerned, like, oh my gosh, she didn't make it out of the store with that eye primer. Are you gonna make it? And I am here to tell you I will be okay. But you know, maybe, now that I think of it, maybe this is really a blessing in disguise for some other person who randomly gets my cart and that primer was in there, and maybe they're not even thinking about it, and they throw it up on the counter with the rest of their stuff, and then they get it home, they're like, oh, I didn't remember buying this, but they find out that it is their holy grail eyeshadow primer. I may have just changed someone's world with that little incident, you never know. Last thing that I will mention here is my deodorant. My holy grail deodorant that I love so much, and I am a sweater. It's just the nature of who I am. I've used plenty of deodorants that I like, that work well enough, but I've found one that really is awesome. But there is something that you need to definitely watch for and double check on with this. I'm talking about the Secret Clinical Strength. It comes in a box like this, Invisible Solid, proud sponsor of Oprah's Life class. Yes, you know you're getting some serious deodorant when it is a stress response Oprah's Life class deodorant. It really does smell good. I love it. It says proven stress sweat protection, and this clinical strength, like, it's good stuff. But you want to make sure you're getting the Invisible Solid, okay? Like, it's just the regular, like, solid deodorant like that. I have used up one of these, absolutely loved it. The next time I had to go repurchase, I mistakenly got the kind that's like a cream that clicks up through. And number one, I don't think it works nearly as well for keeping the sweat at bay. Number two, that just feels like weird. It's like kind of a wet, creamy, like you gotta rub it in. I don't dig that experience at all. So look closely. Take the extra second, make sure you're getting Invisible Solid, because that's the best. So that is my drugstore haul full of repurchase products I am extremely familiar with, that I have used up in some cases multiple times over, and I just wanted to share that with you. It's kind of like life after empties, you know? I did indeed go out and repurchase these things, and I'm really glad I have them back in my life. I am sure this is not the last time I'll be repurchasing these particular things, so thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you again later. Bye.